So this month, our hot seat goes to Evelyn Woods because of her participation in the Facebook group. Now, Evelyn, know I love me some Evelyn because, honey, what Evelyn is going to do is Evelyn is going to try what video, whatever she gonna try it on that there device. Age ain't nothing but a number when it comes down to Miss Evelyn, baby. And look, we've been out here in these streets for a minute together, and she'll walk up on me at an event and she'll say, "Now this is how I'm doing it," right? And but here's the thing: you don't even have to walk up on me, right? If I look at social media, I see that you're doing it. So,
but who inspired me to buy this T-shirt?
Well, probably Marky did.
Yeah,
Marky
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
So here's the joy, right? The fact that you consistently try, right? And as an instructor, it just gives me joy when people simply try. It's not about being perfect, right? It's about implementing. So what I know is that you are going to implement. And so I just wanted the world to know how much joy that brings me every time I see you do another video, whether you put your logo on top of the video, whether you do side by side, you're going to try it. So how are you doing this evening?
I am doing fantastic. I didn't know that you were going to wear that T-shirt too. And we didn't plan this.
No, we did not. But what we are is letting people know exactly what it is that we are doing for a living.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So you said you was going to come up with some questions for me, right? We didn't know how many questions.
I've got 7 questions.
Oh, well, let's go on and get down with these 7 questions.
I like the number 7.
Okay. 7 is it.
Okay. You ready for the first one?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I typed this out last night. It's a long one, number 1.
Okay.
How do you know what you know? How do you keep abreast of all the apps such as Canva, Remove, BG, Unscreen, Evernote, Photo Lab, camera equipment like Insta360, the new Flip Stick, Repurpose.io, Amazon Live, Instagram Reels, Facebook Live, Facebook Reels, Amazon Live, YouTube Shorts? What is free and what's not free? What are the current trends? And the list goes on. So how do you do that?
So it initially started, I'm glad that you asked this. So it initially started with what is called an RSS feed, real simple syndication. So I was initially using a tool called Feedly. And the way that I described Feedly, as a kid, I remember my grandfather would go out on a Saturday and get 3 newspapers. And you probably remember this, Evelyn. He was going to go get the Chicago Sun-Times, the Chicago Tribune, and the Defender. And when he got home on the cocktail table, he was going to break down every last one of those newspapers. And my grandmother would get a section, my mother would get a section, I would get a section, and he would take his section. Right. Well, of course, newspapers don't exist the way that they used to exist anymore. But what we have today are RSS feeds. So essentially, every person in our house could have an RSS feed where they would be updated on the information that they wanted. But instead of it pulling from one newspaper, it could pull from every single newspaper that existed. So when we have all these different blog posts and podcasts and articles, Feedly, Feedly, what Feedly allowed me to do was to only get the content that I wanted. Okay. So that's how video equipment, Facebook, right? That's how it kind of came about. The reason I learned about so many free tools is because financially I had lost everything in the foreclosure crisis. And so I needed free tools and I knew how I wanted my brand to look. So it was always about the free tool. Well, of course, let me say this. I realized after the foreclosure crisis, there's not a such thing as save too much money, right? Like that does not exist. So now I'm paying for tools, but I definitely understand the dilemmas that we have as real estate professionals. So now, like if you go over to Canva, we know that there are certain things that Canva does that are inside of the premium version. So the things that Canva does not do, I know how to do them for free so that real estate professionals can still use Canva. But here's the workaround if you're not financially prepared, able, or willing to pay for this tool. But it started with Feedly. So Feedly was my real simple syndication of only the content that I wanted to see, kind of like putting on, your not binoculars, but having your laser beam focus. I want to think, what's the thing to keep your eyes from looking to the side? Like I guess like a muzzle, but for your eyes. Keeps me focused on only the information that I want. And let me say this, I haven't even talked about this in some time, so I'm glad that you asked, because in my initial social media classes, Feedly is what I was telling people to use to just streamline only the content in which you want. And let me say this, because it doesn't have anything to do with this, but what I have noticed, especially this week, we are so easily distracted, right? With things that have nothing to do with how we make our money. And I wish that people could come into their office, put their mobile device down, and just focus on the goal. And what's in the media this week got people shook. And I'm like, are you asking on one hand how to build your real estate business, but you talking about this? No, we can't. The two don't coexist, guys. So it's about being laser beamed focused on your business and making sure that you shield, right? How your mind is going to wander and how to come back center. It's constantly come back center, come back center, come back center. So we need to be like an RSS feed, right? Laser beamed focus on everything real estate related. And there's a couple of things that I want you to think about outside of social for your RSS feed. And Evelyn, you know this already. 3, 2, 1 buy downs are back. And I am clear that people who have been in the business 10 or fewer years don't know what a 3, 2, 1 buy down is. You want to find the coldest lender in your marketplace on a 3, 2, 1 buy down. That means that the interest rate initially for the first year is 3 points lower, then it goes to 2 points lower, then it goes to 1 point lower, then it can adjust. Okay, because some people are anticipating raises and financial windfalls and things of that nature that they only need a lower interest rate for a short period of time. And the next one is adjustable rate mortgages. Look at a 3-year ARM. And anybody who bought property, when I bought my first property back in 1994, when the interest rate was 8.375, we're not concerned about the interest rate. What we are concerned about is what is that monthly payment. So let's get back focused on how to get buyers into properties. Start looking at every grant program, any way to buy that interest rate down. That's where our focus needs to be right now, today. That was a good question. You had me. I got to go back to the beginning.
But you keep this still all in your head. That's the thing. You are the smartest person, the most techiest person.
Really? I wasn't even techie. I'm a marketing person. I was not born with technology. But here's the reason I keep it in my mind is because I keep so much stuff out. Like it's so much stuff that I pay zero attention to, because I'm clear about what the goal is and what I need to know, versus what I don't need to know, don't care to know. It's not going to help me to know it, right? I was going to go back and get a PhD, but I had to. Let me say why. I was going to go back and get a PhD because my father's sister didn't have a PhD, and I wanted bragging rights that I had something that she did not have. So I had to get honest with myself. And then I realized I wouldn't make more money if I had a PhD, right? So that's something, right? Release that and know You don't need a PhD. Don't even take time from making money to go get the PhD because you won't make more money. You doing it so you could tell her, nah, you the first Lemons to have a PhD. Because my other side of the family has some PhDs. This side of the family does not. Okay.
So do they still have RSS feeds? You talked about Feedly, but that you don't use that anymore. That's obsolete, or
Oh no, Feedly is still very relevant.
okay.
There are RSS feeds are in a lot of different platforms. An example would be I house my podcast on a platform called Libsyn. And through Libsyn, through RSS feeds, it syndicates to Apple, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify. So RSS feeds are alive and well. I have just, I am now more, I know exactly where to go get the information that I want and source it differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good advice about trying to narrow down, because turn off the TV and all that stuff. Yeah, that's very good advice. Okay, so number two is your mind constantly creating? And if not, do you just take a day off or time off to regroup?
I do take time off to regroup. So this morning, it's like crunch season for me. Well, let me break it down. So Thanksgiving to the first of the year, I don't have to travel because real estate associations, banks, and title companies, they'll do local Christmas parties, but they're not doing that big conference, right? So I know I'm going to be at home and I'm going to be in creation mode. I'm going to hit the road early this year. Like our January is already booked out faster than than it has been since the pandemic. So what I'm anticipating is I will be on the road 100 nights next year. So 100 face-to-face events. But I'm going to be off for 6 weeks during Christmas and 6 weeks during the summer. Today, I went to the tailor to pick up my pants from being hemmed. I stopped over in Evergreen Park. I went to this place on Yelp that had great sandwiches and picked up us some dinner and lunch and even dropped Skylar something off. So I was disconnected today, probably for 4 to 5 hours. I go to the barbershop every 2 weeks. I get my nails done every 5 weeks, manicure and pedicure. So there are certain things that are on my schedule that I do at a regular interval because they're already on my schedule. And if I don't do them, I become annoyed and distracted. So if I don't get my hair cut every 2 weeks, then I'm going to start looking at it. Why I didn't make an appointment? So I just eliminated that. I have like my next 3 appointments. So the next month and a half already in the calendar. My nails, I strategically found someone that my nails can last me up to 6 weeks.
Wow.
And it's more expensive. However, I'm looking at the value of my time.
Yeah.
Right. So it takes the same amount of time. So now instead of going every 2 weeks, I could actually go every 6 weeks, pay more money, but they'll still last. So I think these are about 5 weeks and I'm going to cut them down this time.
Wow.
So I'm always looking at, my time, but yes, I definitely disconnect. We have family night every Wednesday night.
Okay.
We watch, that's my TV night. We watch all 3 of the Chicago shows as a family, and there cannot be any mobile device. So these are things, and if I don't get it, if I'm not here on Wednesday night, then we follow up on Saturday morning. So yes, I definitely disconnect, and I definitely take care of myself. And that includes doctor's appointments. So I go to the doctor tomorrow. They're on my calendar. I book them and schedule them first. And here's why. My grandfather died at Lem's Barbecue, right? Not physically there, but he was still working. He was, in his early 80s. And my grandfather worked so hard that his friends were his employees. So at the time that he passed away, he really didn't have any friends outside of his employees or people who physically came to see him at the business. And he took great pride in taking care of everyone, but he didn't take care of himself. And even though I love my family, I don't want it to be at my expense. You know, self-preservation is the number one law of nature. So you have to take care of yourself. So I go to the doctor regularly. I go to the dentist regularly. I go to the eye doctor regularly. And it's on my calendar to do so.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll take care of Marky.
I know. I'm taking care. I told you of my mother-in-law. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. So number 3, The Secret Book. What do you think of it? And do you have a vision board? The reason why I asked this question is I saw The Secret years ago. I do have a vision board. You just reminded me to watch The Secret again. I just watched it like this week because you mentioned it in the comments.
So not only have I watched the movie The Secret, I want to say I have 3 of the Secret books plus the last edition that she brought out. I get the Secret emails, and I used to have the Secret app. So when I tell you I believe in The Secret, I believe in The Secret. Yes, I have a vision board, and I have had 2 vision board parties at my house.
Oh, okay.
So 2 vision board parties at my house, the movie, a couple of the books, the app. I believe in the law of attraction to the point that I don't know if everybody knows this, but the folders on my mobile device, because I only operate off of one screen, I'm going to tell you what they say. I'm productive. I'm wealthy. I'm a socialite. I'm photogenic. I'm a video vixen. I travel extensively. I'm organized. So those are my daily affirmations. That's what I'm attracting to myself. And I have them organized in these folders. And you know what? We probably need to do a vision board party. And Nicole Wheatley, we were renting out a movie theater prior to the pandemic at 87th Street. And we watched the movie The Secret together. Let me put it back on her calendar every January for a couple of years.
Wow. Okay, so the second part of that question is, have you witnessed things materializing from your vision board?
So, yes. First of all, the house that I live in, I saw this house on the north side. On the north side, the house was about $2 million. So clearly my husband can't afford a $2 million house, right? So I told my husband, I had a picture of the house from Lincoln Park on the board. And I don't know if you remember these 2 houses that were off of, they would have been 43rd. They were in the 4300 block on Woodlawn. They were $785 a piece. So we went to go look at those houses. And Stephen was like, yeah, no, still not in my budget. I had this house on my board. The developer lost the house. He politely uninstalled everything in this house. This house came to the market at $148,900.
Wow.
We bid at $200,000 in the foreclosure market. So no one was overbidding, but that's what it was worth in its as-is value. Stephen did a rate and term refinance. 12 months later, we were at a 62% loan to value. Okay. So I have a vision board. I've seen things materialize, but it wasn't in Lincoln Park, but it was the same house, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 2-car garage. It was all that. And it was what he could afford. The next thing, I'm going to tell you 2 more things. Ooh. So the next thing was on my vision board, I had a white Mercedes. I forget the model, and it had white leather interior. I drive a white BMW with red leather interior, the comparable BMW version to the Mercedes version. And I'm glad that it is white with red leather interior because it's for my sorority. Okay, that's next one. Now, this last one is going to throw you. So I had on my vision board that I wanted to have a St. John knit suit for every day of the week. Okay. And I had purchased, let me see, red, black. I was at 7 outfits, but it was 2 dresses and 5 suits. Get this. My friend's aunt used to be a chief financial officer who now has dementia, and they had to move her out of her place into a senior facility, and she could not bring her rooms of clothes. He let me come shopping in her closet. And the reason you see me in St. John every day is because I have over 100 St. John suits.
Wow.
From the retired CFO who could not take them with her.
Okay.
Those three things. You see what we're getting here?
Yeah.
I just wanted the suits, right? I never said I had to go to the store and get the suits, right? And let me say this. For what one suit cost is what I got all 100 suits. I mean, dresses, skirts. I just picked up 3 pair of pants from the seamstress today. Wow. So if you look, you could probably tell right around the time that I acquired these suits, because on most of these pictures I have on St. John for the cover. Look, for the St. John, right? Wow, I got 100 suits for the cost of one suit.
Wow.
So do I believe it worked? Baby, bye. I'm over here manifesting in ways. And when I tell people some of this stuff, they looking like, say what? Yeah. I'm like, yes. Yeah, so the suits was on the board. The house was on the board. The car was on the board. Paying off the IRS was on the board. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it manifest. And right now, I think it's a red Rolls Royce. Now, let me say this. I'm not getting no Rolls Royce. But what I do want is the Rolls Royce. I've actually had the Rolls Royce experience. Get this. I forgot about that. I go to Vegas. I stay at the Wynn. Leading real estate companies of the world sends a Rolls Royce to pick me up and take me back to the airport. So I've had the Rolls Royce experience. I can go take that off too. We want the experience.
My son thinks I'm a witch because there are several things that have material, many things from the vision board. So yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Don't let me keep going. But there you go. The Rolls Royce, 100 pieces. Look, I have not gone shopping really because I had to reorganize my closets and I had to purge bags of clothes to bring this 100 suits up in here.
Wow.
Which is another reason why I got the t-shirt closet. Okay,
all right. St. John suits are going on because I want one. They're going on my vision board.
Put it on your vision board.
I am.
Look, what size you wear? I think I might have a suit over here. Then let me talk to you. Let's see. Because I didn't get all them pants him. So we might be able to manifest that.
Okay, I'm a 14. So if you,
what's your favorite color?
Red, black, what else? Brown.
Red, black, brown. Let me see if I think I might have one of them colors in red. Did I get those red pants him? Let me see if I didn't. I'm gonna look right on up here. I'm looking at a bunch of suits right now. We're gonna make that work for you.
Now see, I tell you, I love you. On my vision board in 2000, I put up there in 2015 that I want to get married again within a year, and I got married in 2016. So everything I put on every time I list a property, I put sold right on the thing and put it up on the vision board. And 99% of the time it works, not 100%, but still.
And that 1% mean that just ain't for you and you don't know it.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
I'm going to get up afterwards. Let me write this down. Because guess what? The pants are long, so I need to have them hemmed. And I went and picked up 3 pair of pants today. But I had other pants that I was going to take back. And I got you. And look, and she was a 14. How about that?
Oh, my God. Isn't that something? And I'm tall. I'm 5'8". So, yeah.
And she was tall. Yeah. So that's why I got to get everything, the pants hemmed. Yep.
Oh, wow. Isn't that a blessing? Okay.
It is.
All right. Now, number 4. You spoke about 3 books that have influenced you, such as The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, The One Thing, and Eat That Frog. Is that right?
Yes, all 3 of those have. Mm-hmm.
So why did they influence you? Or how did they influence you?
So The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, at the time I was at Keller Williams. And I want to say this because I haven't talked about her lately. And there is a person who was very influential in my life. Her name is Dr. Rita Glass. Rita passed away. Rita was complex and difficult, but there were some things that she mandated, especially when we entered into a partnership. So me, Zeke Morris, Dr. Rita Glass, and Dr. Sandra Stinson, Reverend Dr. Sandra Stinson from Matthew House, whose father is Uncle Remus, we had to go through the landmark forum. We had to read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. We had to watch the movie The Secret, and we read The One Thing together. So I didn't do it by myself. I did it in conjunction with Zeke Morris, Dr. Rita Glass, and Dr. Sandra Stinson. So The Millionaire Real Estate Agent to me was kind of the blueprint on how to run and operate a real estate business or team. It was very deep. It's very detailed, right? And it was really the first real estate book out there that to me put us up on game. Because if you follow the MREA, you can have a successful real estate business. So I would encourage, especially now, you want to go and get the latest edition of the MREA. Keep in mind that the one thing also came out of the Keller Williams camp. The one thing, the reason it changed my life, here's why. I had the opportunity to reflect on when did I earn the most amount of money and I had the highest level of happiness. And I hadn't sat down and thought about it. I read it at a time that I was not happy. My money was funny, my energy was zapped, and I did not have enough time to date Stephen. So I'm like, look, I'm working my butt off and my money is not matching my effort. And I was really disgruntled. And so once I read the One Thing, be like a postage stamp, stick to one thing until you get there, I could see subtle shifts in my money and my effort because I was going back to a point in time where I had the highest level of happiness and earned the highest amount of money. Because what I realized is earning the highest amount of money doesn't make you happy, right? But I wanted to be happy and earn money. And so the 2 times in my life that occurred, I was laser beamed focused on shoring up one thing. Either I was just selling real estate and it was all about marketing and selling real estate. And when I was just focused on our barbecue restaurant, not barbecue restaurants, not catering, not the concession business, right? And so those were those times. So that's the impact that it had. To me, Who Ate the Frog supports, it's very similar to me to The One Thing. It's like a reinforcer for that book. So those 3 books, I encourage people, but if you're questioning right now what the real estate future looks like, then I would go and start with the MREA book. And the one thing that all of them, well, the MREA actually requires a little bit more focus. The One Thing and Who Ate the Frog, it doesn't require like deep thought process and focus. And I like simple books.
Okay. Here, number 5 says, of all the hats you wear, what is your most favorite role in which you think you excel and can lose track of time doing it because you like it so much?
Talking about real estate. I mean, so when I started looking at my friends are in real estate now. Right. And when me and Sarah or anybody gets together, we have a real estate discussion. It's like the conversation never gets old. But it's also the fact that I'm hanging out with people who believe in our industry, who are advocates, who volunteer, who are major donors. So we have all these different things in common, and it has become my tribe. So I would say that. But now let me be clear. Everything that I do, I like, or I don't do it. So I don't do nothing that I don't like to do.
Good
Okay.
answer. That's a very good answer.
Um,
Okay. Okay. I
so
got
when
it.
I find time for scrapbooking, I love scrapbooking. I find time for crocheting, I love crocheting. I really enjoy being at home and being a mother and a wife to Stephen, just laughing and joking because we do a lot of signifying, laughing and joking. When I have people come over to my house and we decide to barbecue, I'm going to feed you well, you're going to drink well, and we're going to have a good time. So the reason I say I like to do everything because I like to do everything well. So it's very hard to do something well that you don't like to do.
Okay.
It's very hard. And I don't just do it to do it. So if I'm not going to do a good job at doing it, then I don't do it. And I realized that there were people in my circle, they know I'm going to do well. So at the moment I commit to doing it, I'm going to do it right or I ain't going to do it. And but that's not what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And then you realize you do better at other people's tasks than they doing at their own tasks, right? For them. And so now I just say no. Because my new saying is, I will prefer for you to be mad at me for me saying no than for me to be mad at you for saying yes. So I'm okay with you because either way I go, somebody going to be mad. So why I need to be mad and exhaust my time? No, I don't need to be mad. I prefer to not be mad and just tell you no, right? And let you be mad. Let you have all them feelings.
Okay, number 6. One of the things I like most about you is that you don't care what others think when doing videos like the ones you did on roller skates, when you were waving the handkerchief. How and when did you come to not caring about others' opinions, which I believe is a great asset?
Wow. Instantly when you said that, I had a flashback. I was raised to not care about other people's opinion. And my mother told me at a very early age that anything that I do, own it and never allow people to make me feel bad for my personal decisions, right? So with that being said, I was sick from school one day. I attended Harvard St. George, or the Harvard School in Hyde Park. So it's this little private school at 4731 South Ellis. So I was sick from school one day, and this is the day that they casted the students for the play. And in casting the students for the play, because I was overweight then, but probably just considered thick now. Like in comparison to today's overweight, I was not overweight. And when I get back to school, they have casted me as the hippopotamus, right? So I'm hot. Okay. And I'm not playing your hippopotamus, I almost cussed. I ain't paying your hippopotamus. So I go home and I tell my mother, what they had done and, how they're using it as a way to call me fat. Right. And my mother said, no, you're going to be the hippopotamus. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the hippopotamus. I don't feel good right now. I ain't going to school. I ain't playing hippopotamus. Right. I ain't going to be the hippopotamus. And my mother said, no, you're going to be the hippopotamus. She says, and you're going to be the star of the entire play. She said, you're going to show them what it is to be a good actress and to move on from there. Right. So I did. I was a hippopotamus. Clearly I'm not scarred, but it just came back to me, right, about being the hippopotamus. And my mother said, look, that is your weight, carry it well and own it. And so I think, and that was probably about the 5th, maybe the 6th grade. And from there, baby, they don't know the little monster they created. And it was already in me, right? Because I've always been the person when people say what you can't do, I just show up and do it. Like some things we don't have to talk about. I'm just going to show up. And what is funny is how many people underestimate, because I look at, when people look at descriptions, I'm the opposite of everything that they glorify because I'm short, I'm overweight, I'm Black, I'm bald headed, right? And people in their minds, I can see, because I'm at the front of the room looking at everybody. I can see deer in a headlight and facial expressions change because what they getting is not what they anticipated. So, yeah, it started with that dang on hippopotamus.
I want to share years ago, they had the midnight special. You may be too young to remember that. But Aretha Franklin was performing. And I liked Aretha Franklin, but she was performing that night and she really got into her performance. She took her wig off, and I said, whoa. I respected her so much because she was real. That was a real moment where she showed her real self and she didn't care about whatever was happening, who was looking at her. I really thought that was a courageous thing that she did, you know?
Yeah. It was the hippopotamus. And now when I do certain things or share at a different level, it's not the public response to it, it's the private response to it.
Uh-huh.
So recently, on one of my trips, their incoming president said, Marky, I've never had the opportunity to tell you this, but the reason that I do live video is because in this class, and I taught this class like in 2016. In that class, she said, and I've been consistent. She says, and I definitely believe that increased my visibility, which is why I'll be the incoming president.
Wow. Wow.
So it's all those little side conversations or a handwritten note or gift that someone will send and they'll say, hey, because of this. And it's like me just sharing because I really believe I'm not the only one. So I'm not the only, little overweight girl from the South Side who was shamed, or the fact that they told me I talk too much and now I get paid to talk. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's all those little things. And I just know I'm not the only one.
But I admire women like you because it's not like I'm making a fool of myself. You just present your authentic self and you don't care. And it comes across very well.
Thank you very much. And I am sharing my authentic. That's funny because a lot of people ask, they say, Marky, I wish I could be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can, once you get over the fear of how you think you're going to look.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You, like really, when you just don't give a damn.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Last question. What are your professional goals for 2023? I know you talked about getting involved with divorce transactions.
Yes. So I am going to become divorce certified because at my age, there's substantially more transactions per couple, right? Between their homes, their investment properties, their second homes, there's just more. The fact that somebody is going to move. So it's a minimum of 2 transactions, if not averaging 3 transactions. So next weekend, I am speaking at Realty Executives, and I'm leaving there and going to Virginia to the Epps estate to hang out with Ernest Epps. And what I realize is that everybody who is going to the Epps estate for this training, everybody makes 7 figures per year. Now, I'm not going to say they make 7 figures consistently, but they've all had the opportunity to earn 7 figures in a year. What I'm doing is consistently trying to get to a higher financial goal. And in that process, I'm consistently learning something new. So in this, I have 40 one-on-one sessions. Every last one of these sessions so far, I've had 3 1-hour sessions. I've learned a plethora of new information. And all I'm thinking about is I'm going to take these new acquired entrepreneurship skills and apply them to real estate. So then that's going to come through, right, back into the training. So every time I hire a coach or a mentor, they're going to teach me how to do something at even a higher level. And the higher level now is I've had e-commerce business. This is a high ticket e-commerce business. And it's taken me back to something I had started in the pandemic, but now I'm learning all the things I didn't do in the pandemic when I opened up my Shopify store. All the research I didn't do, how to focus in on a target audience better, Google ads, all of this. But I'm getting, get this, 40 hours of one-on-one with this new team, with the team that's made all these people 7 figures. So sometimes we have to pay for access at a higher level.
Yeah.
And that's the focus for next year, is really shoring up what the legacy looks like, what the passive income will look like, and applying that skill set to everything that I've already done. But then that also comes to everybody else, because I share every time I learn something new. So the question is, how many more people can I impact and help make more money and increase their visibility?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's I'll be at the Epps estate. I've never done anything like this before. First of all, I ain't never stayed in nobody's house. Like, I don't stay at people. Not my blood, I ain't staying at your house. But my husband know where I'm gonna be. I trust the people I'm going with. Let me tell you who's gonna be there. Danielle Pierce.
Oh yeah, I
Yep.
know.
So she's she took her, and I tell her, you took your BPOR class with me at the Chicago Association of Realtors.
I know.
I think between baby number 2 and baby number 3.
Wow.
My other coach, which is, and he does not like to be referred to as a coach. Let me think of the term he likes to be called. Thomas Stovall. Here's what's funny. All of us are 3 kids from the south side of the city of Chicago.
Oh, wow.
And a couple of other people. So it'll be people who I know, like, and trust, and people I've already made money with. So that'll be interesting. So here's the question, because last week, Anita and I had breakfast with Mary Richardson and with Freddie Taylor out at the Richardson estate. And we were asking Freddie, would he do a retreat with me and Anita, and he agreed. But this is what he advised me to do with the hot seat. And so you're the first person I'm asking this.
I'm in. Whatever it is with Mary.
No, wait, you gotta wait. So this is the first person. So the question is, with the way we want to pivot or thinking about pivoting the hot seat, is where we go behind the scenes to see what your business questions are and how can we dive in and help you to solve a problem or anything maybe behind the scenes of your business that you need help with. Okay. So the question is, what do you need help with?
Right now, I'm trying to get past when these deals fall through, picking myself back up. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like, oh, I got a contract and we get ready to close. Then it's like, oh, it goes south. Or, I had one last year where the seller kicked me to the curb, he told me to cancel the deal. I did. He told me he would have me listed again. Don't you know, he listed it right away with somebody else. That was an ouch moment but it went on canceled, and I guess somebody else called him, but I had to really regroup after that. I was like, I went over there and gave my best and did everything. That kind of stuff is what it's kind of, I'm trying to get over it faster. Like you said, if it wasn't meant for me, I'm trying to get over that faster.
So let me tell you what I did. And I'm taking this back to when I was a single parent and not getting a penny in child support. So Skylar's father contributed roughly $4,870 to his entire existence up until today. Okay. So as a unwedded mother, right? What I would do is every time a deal would fall, I would come into beast mode. I was intentional because every time a deal fell, I took it as you stealing from me. So now I need to go and get 2 deals for every one deal that falls. Yeah. So anytime a deal falls, instead of us retreating, we got to bring the dog, the beast out in us. Like someone just stole something. Like, you going to just take money up off my table? And this is how I would talk to myself. Oh, no, we're not going to do that today. I got to feed this boy. And I talk to myself. Now, where I'm going to go get me 2 deals from? And you come back and you start reflecting on how you close those last 5 to 10 deals.
Right. Yeah.
And go back to the beginning, because retreating is not an option. You have to take it personal and think of it as someone stealing from you. You got the unmitigated gall. You gonna take food up off my plate?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
And if you can heat yourself up enough, right? Then you sit down, you get your sheet of paper and you start writing it down. And you have to take action. So anytime any deals fall apart, the question is, how do I go get two to replace every one? And that's how I kept that productivity up, because if one was falling, it was all about, before you even go back to the business plan, right, and get new business, I got to replace this business. So not only do I need new business, because we got to keep this rate up, right? How do I go replace? Because you just took away, right? So now I got to add, and still I got to produce at the rate in which I wanted to produce according to the business plan.
Mm-hmm. Natalie Carpenter told me that same thing. She said, congratulations. Now you're just going to get two more deals. And it's true,
Yep. You got to go get you two more for every one that falls. And what I'm going to encourage everyone to do, we have to identify right now, today or tomorrow, 5 ways to get buyers into properties. It's all about what mortgages, what type of finance instruments are out there that will reduce their monthly expenditures when it comes to affordability. That's what we have to focus on right now to go, because guess what? We got properties. We've seen the biggest price reduction, period. Where are you going to go get these new deals from? That needs to be it. And I'm going to be honest with you right now, it's hard on people. They're not focused. So that means it's less competition. It's less competition. There are so many, was the number 600 or 6,000 new expired properties in the MLS, in our MLS. If we don't go and start working expired, we have to go now, because I'm not calling it a pivot. It's a market sway. Go back to 10 years ago and dust off that arsenal of tools. What were we doing before interest rates decreased? Some of us got an arsenal. It's the new ones, that newer licensees that don't. And what I'm telling everybody, 3-2-1 buy downs, adjustable rate mortgages, every grant program, take tomorrow, find these programs, call the lender and tell them you want to do a Facebook Live with them. Let them send you over the PDF of that information. And in the next week or so, you interview a different person every single day on live video to replace your stolen deals. That's what we got to do. And here's the good thing. For the people leaving the business, we can get their new business, right? And we're going to have more content and more visibility that we can just keep on building on. So that's what the focus should be. Yep.
Okay.
AC, did you see anything in the chat?
There's nothing in the chat. People were focused, zoomed in with their blinders on, listening, including me. So here's what's interesting, right? So you just reminded me. I read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I read The One Thing. I haven't read the Frog Book, but I also read The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, the Blue Book. And so I'm going to go pull my Blue Book back out right now. Perfect timing.
I'm writing that one down too. Okay, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. Okay.
Investor, yep. It's good. It's a rendition of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, but of course it's focused more on the investment end. And then the other thing was, I meant to say this last week and totally forgot, but I'm a secret girl too. I watch it every year, and when I'm really down on myself, it's the thing that I go to get hype. That and Black Panther. Every time I watch Black Panther, I feel like I can go save the world. For real.
Really? I gotta think about. Okay, I'm gonna do that. But that secret, you know what? I'm glad that you asked that question, because I forgot how many things have manifested.
Oh yeah.
Based off of the secret, because all that was on my vision board. I wanted me a St. John for every day of the week. So yes.
My son's friend's wife was trying to get pregnant for a long time. They already had a little boy. And the little boy is about, I don't know, about 10 now. And the wife was crying about how they've been trying to have a baby and all of that. And I told her, I said, God would not have put that desire in your heart if he wasn't going to give it to you. And so I put up on my vision board, please God, give them a baby. And the next month she got pregnant.
Come on now.
And they've
You
got
the baby manifester. Come on now.
My son says I'm a witch. I've got a picture of her kissing a baby up on my vision board now.
Come on now. I love it. So yeah, go. And here's the next thing, Anita, based on what you said, the millionaire real estate investor right now, I want us to think about their cash buyers in the market.
Yeah.
How do you service the non-institutional cash buyer? The Millionaire Real Estate Investor book can help you with that. Yep, it surely can. So did we answer all your questions tonight, Evelyn?
You did. I got a St. John hookup and everything.
You surely do. Look, I'm going to get up tonight. I'm going to send you a picture because I'm going to go find you a fit.
Those clothes are so expensive. I've only dreamed about them and looked at them and stuff, but to buy them, oh my goodness,
Yeah, I'm going to go find you one. Don't worry. Like I told you, I got 100 suits over here. So I'm going to find you one tonight. I'm going to go and manifest it right on up out this closet.
Well, let me know when you go have your next secret party. I just watched it again this week.
Yep. We're going to have one. I'm going to call, when we get off, I'm going to call Nicole Wheatley to see if we're going to rent out the movie theater again this year because it's time. And we will, we did it at 87th Street. We did it as a pajama party. So it's time to bring it back.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
I had on my list for us on Saturday to talk about doing a vision board party too, just FYI.
Good. So keep it there because we're going to make that happen.
So, okay, last question. So once your vision materializes, then I take mine off the board and maybe put it in the file and put a new vision up there. Is that what other people do too? Or do they just keep them all up there or,
I think you got to consistently update and upgrade, right? So right now, I know that I want a house in the South. I know that I'm going to buy this house in a state that has no state income taxes. We're going to make that our principal residence so that we can buy the house from what we were paying with our state income taxes. So that gives me 3 states, Florida, Texas, and Nevada. Those, let me say this, there's more states than that. That's the 3 that I'm willing to have a second home in. And then the next thing is looking at a condo that has a management company in Tulum or somewhere else. Now, the reason for a place in Mexico or South America is because senior care there is about 10% of what it is in the U.S. In case Stephen or I get sick as we age, we can send our pension check anywhere and he can still get the best of care at substantially less than the cost here in a country that respects their elders. So that's what's on the vision board. I can tell you right now, the next house will not have any stairs. So so I took it off because I need now this house and this condo that's going to be self-managed in case one day we get old and sick and we need somebody to take care of us. That's the plan.
Okay.
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 All right then.
All right.
Okay, everybody. The care is cheaper. 10 and it's quality care. 10 cents on the dollar. Alzheimer's care in Mexico is 10% the cost here in the U.S. So I'm I'm thinking long-term strategic, and I want to be taken care of well. So they take all your money because you can lose you get sick in the United States, all your money can be spent. Just think about it, y'all.
Yeah.
We're going to turn on our music. I appreciate you for coming. You had all of these great questions, and I'm getting ready to get up and go find this suit for you. I'm going to send you a picture tonight, okay?
Thanks, Anita.
All right.